So let's now go ahead, look who calls in the initialization this network is not up yet. I'm telling you that it was intentional, okay? I will stop the service, okay? I will now grep again. I don't need to grep. I will look at the reach out depths. Check network interface is up for development, okay? This for development, look at the IPs here. It looks for QEMU. It looks for a default Docker and network, and it looks like at the local host. Now it's set only if the variable is not set like externally, like if you set your own server, you're going to set this variable, and the set URL OTA server base for development will not have any significance, okay? So it will definitely, there will be no real reason, absolutely no real reason to call like this function. So one of the things that we can do is, let's say, okay, put this only like on QEMU, and like only if like the OTA server base is empty, then call this loop. Otherwise, just like call it only when you actually want to download. So let's see where it's being downloaded. There, actually, you will see that there is supposed to be somewhere like a comment, at least at the time of recording it, that actually says that this was added in order to avoid trying to access the file and failing. So early enough, instead of like spamming the log with the fails, because in development I don't want to test like every hour. I want to test like tons of times, I don't know, in a minute, just to see that like things are not breaking. And increasing the frequency helps in testing faster, right? And it is just fine. So we're going to look at it and look at it like OTA state machine. I don't think it is needed. Check network interface is up for development, which is why I modified it and just moved it like to the bottom, to the beginning of the process. All right. So it's also called in OTA reach defs 62, which is a good candidate. So let's go ahead and look at that. I'm in Debian, so I can use like this plus and so on. And here we have in the init environment, we immediately check like this network interface is up. So let's comment it out, and let's just for fun do. Not checking. Just for fun, right? I mean, it's within our control. So I'll restart OTA and look what happens, like a lot of more prints. Okay? So we mount the OTA directories, and then the logic can actually look what's going on. And it tells me, hey, like the current update state is idle, cleaning up previous downloads, and look what else it says. Hey, missing the URL. Why is it missing the URL? Because I never bothered like to call it. So there is logic in these things. So now that we know how things work, and now that we grabbed like this, we can go ahead and, for example, look at this comment. And then I can just go. And do this, assuming we did have this log. It's short, let's restart. So it says, hey, your OTA update URLs are not set, either because it did not provide URL OTA server base, or because the network is not up yet. And now it's actually going like to start and test these things. So if we did, let's stop the service again. Remember from the previous video, if we did system control enable system D network D dash now, or if we just started, it's also fine, it's not masked. We will have IP, and if we restart the OTA service, then now it has the URL, it has like the development things. Otherwise it just, you know, fails a couple of times and it's all good. So this was the bug that was introduced. It was introduced just to increase some development speed ups, and it was accidentally ported. Actually, if I remember correctly, I did it to introduce some things, something like I'm doing right now, like inside a class. And sometimes you just leave things in, as I mentioned, like porting can be very challenging. So this would actually get things correctly and everything will be like just fine. Okay, so you may ask yourself, great, so how does it help me? Like, how do I test things? So the answer for that is, of course, like you prepare an image, you prepare a manifest that is available, for example, like in this OTA files, OTA manifest, and see like what's going on there. Now, luckily, the README file does tell you how to get started quickly, I think. There should be a one-liner, yeah. So testing example, updating the OTA code via live patch. This is going to be a live patch. We can make like a complete update and reboot and everything and be happy. So if I update the OTA code, I need to actually modify the code itself like on my host, and only then like give it. Otherwise I will return to the same error that I had. But let's do that anyway. So I'm going to go here on host files test. We have like this OTA server and we have like a manifest example, and I'm going to do this guy. So it should wait like between updates, all right? And I think 60 seconds. So let's just wait here, okay? The server is serving requests. It's just a one-liner Python module. Here is the manifest. So actually, after the update, we have like some commands, and on done commands, we should see like these prints, assuming it works. So let's see. Look what's going on. wget update available will update blah 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 blah. This is where you ask a human if they want update, and the update itself failed, but that's fine. So something here like is missing. Okay, here we try to get OTA files, OTA manifest. We have a 200 code, and going ahead and looking on this is actually going to be something a little bit different. Okay, that's another problem already. But let's see if we have something under download. So I mean, once it fails, it will try to start. It will continue. It will start doing this. So if I just do wget like the manifest itself, this is where it got it, which is good. All right. The file name that we want to get, so the manifest we got it. The file itself we didn't get. So we need to see why we didn't get it. Okay. And for this, we can use like our knowledge of where the wget command happens, or like looking for downloading the software update file, and it's trying to look for OTA files, OTA target files, tarball, tar.xz. Now this is our it will keep looking for it, which is fine. Okay, and here we need to see if we even like have a tarball available. Okay, so we have like the make OTA user space and tarball sh blah blah blah. We have the OTA target file tarball tar.xz, which is excellent. Okay, but here something is missing, like the host files test, OTA server. Like, let's see if it's even like on the host file. So we don't see them. Okay, so like we start something and it's not good enough. So let's see what the manifest is served. That is fine. The file itself is not served. So let's look at our README again. So the quick starting is this. It's supposed to take care of everything, but we didn't have the tarball just there. Okay, so we can go and see what is the testing theory and practice. We have like a test host, OTA files, build image version, blah 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 blah, OTA manifest, and you can see that we didn't really have it. So let's go ahead, slightly cheat. Let's see where this one was created. Copy it into here. Okay. And the OTA manifest was requested. Under OTA files, prepended, blah blah blah, OTA files, OTA target files, tarball, tar.xz. Should be an host file. Yeah, so here we don't even have like the OTA files. Okay. So let's make OTA files. Actually, it could be that we're serving from somewhere else. I don't even remember the script. Yeah. So temp test OTA server OTA files. I usually did it like, I would usually do it like under this directory. So let's go here. My apology. This is why I don't remember. I will remove this one. OTA files. We have like the tarball. It should point to where we are, which is just fine. We don't get the update request. So like if we have something like this, what I would try to do is something like, let's do that. We'll get localhost at slash, what's its name? OTA files, and then I'll look for this one, This is how we test like our server. Connection refused because I think the port is 8000. Okay, so see now like we have it. So this side works well. And we can see here that we have like a 200 on the request here. So the target itself doesn't work so well. So we have like prepared HTTP, 2 OTA files, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't even get it from the right place, you see? So something is wrong with the server there, like with the IP over here. So if we go back, let's go to the switch of staffs and let's cheat again. Now in the other direction. We'll restart the service. We'll get the manifest and look what happens. Now everything works well. Why? Because now it downloads the URL just as it is. So the development code needed like to set it early enough. It's kind of things, if you don't know the system, is hard like to debug. And here you have video, you can just stop it. Here you have exactly like what we set here, which is it's essentially it's essentially, you know, like our instructions, our everything, and we should be, I mean, it is how it is. So it's pretty much like what we wanted. It's a live patch, so we continue working here, and that's what I wanted to show. Okay, so when you will look at the code itself, then this will already be resolved for you. But this is like an example of like multi-level debugging, okay? And that's what I wanted to show. Actually, there is something else that is not clear to me, because it was supposed to show these things, assuming I'm getting like the right file. So let's see. Yeah, okay, so it's a terminal issue. Updated your ATA, reloading, does it do it or not? Yeah. So yeah, it's fine. I mean, it has like the colors, like if you cut, and it didn't have like if I did like an eval there, then it would be fine. Or like if the terminal was different, let's see. No, this is okay. Yeah, I actually don't remember. It's been years. So so this is like the demonstration. We managed to fix it. We understand the bug. Okay, we introduced another bug, and now we understand also how to fix it, and this will indeed be fixed. So thank you for watching, and this should be, if you work on the system, you will probably want to send me flowers. I prefer chocolate, but because it will be very, very, very useful, like this set of videos. Otherwise I'll say, okay, what's that? It didn't even show like it's pretty. Maybe you don't think so. Face. Okay. So that's it.